On the left, we are at big blind with kings and offsuit, and small blind in races, so we call. An ace high flop comes, and Birjaan civets almost two-thirds of the pot, and he don't necessarily has to have an ace. And we have two overcards to mid pair, plus a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush draw, so I'm gonna call this bet. If he doesn't have the ace, I expect him to slow down his aggression after a turn barrel. At least I think most recreational players will do. But I think many times you will find yourself in a situation where Brilliant C bets on the flop, you call, and then he checks the turn. So as I already explained on previous videos, we can call pretty light, and now we're gonna try to take advantage of that. On the right we have ace queen offsuit at small blind, button limps, and again we don't want to raise, as most recreational players call white to raise over limpers, and we don't want to play a big pot out of position. So we're just gonna move all in. We call on the left and hit a mid pair, and villain bets a bit more than half pot, and as I said, a lot of times people are gonna see it and check on the turn, but on this board there are many draws. There's a straight draw and a flush draw on the flop. Now there's a diamond flush draw on the turn, and other kind of straights like queen 10, queen jack, jack 10. So given the fact that there are a lot of draws now, I expect villain bets if he's aggressive. We don't have any reads on villain, but I expect most players will check fold a lot on the river if they don't complete a draw. So I'm planning to call the turn and re-evaluate river. On the right, 7-5 offsuit at button. I will open it if it will be suited. And at the left table, villain move all in on the river, and the fact that a 5 pairs helped me a little bit, as I see most players tends to check or slow down with the aggression when a flop card pairs on later streets. It's like they are more careful. I think in this river we're gonna find players who are gonna move all in with an ace on this river, but also you will find players who are gonna check a lot because they are scared of the 5. So yeah, remember they are recreational players. And here we need to take in consideration not only the fact that a 5 paired on the river and he shoved right away, which is weird as most recreational players will take some time to move all in even with a value hand on the river. But the fact that there are a lot of misdraws, 2 straight draws and 2 flush draws, makes me think that his range here is ace, X, flush draws and straight draws. So his range is really polarized. It's basically nuts or draws. And notice that we have 263 chips left, and here our call needs to be right 27% of the times to be better than folding, and I definitely think we're gonna be right 27% of the times, as there are a lot of draws there. So I'm gonna call here, and I hope he has a draw. If he has a good hand, good for him then. And we call, and he had a gut shot and a flush draw, and we win the hand.